Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about my faith and how it not only got me through narcissistic abuse and the healing process, but it's still getting me through it every single day. And has completely saved my life. And I say this because the question that was asked seemed to be a bit odd, stating that I was pushing my own agenda, and that I don't talk about my relationship with Jesus Christ much. And yes, I know. I don't take what this person said seriously. And the reason is because I know I speak about my relationship with Yahshua, the Messiah, the world named Jesus Christ, a lot. Which is another discussion. Because yes, he wasn't named Jesus. He was named Yahshua. Look it up. The Greeks and Romans after his death called him Iezos. And only about 500 and some odd years ago the letter J was created. But anyways, I think I've made it pretty clear about my faith. And regarding what I talk about the truth. And what happens to those that are narcissistically abused. And I also talk about the bigger picture of this abuse. Because it's worldwide, people. It's the very system we live under. Narcissism and evil. Now, are there people that are striving to be good in this system? And can good interactions happen with such people? Yes. But it doesn't take away from the evil and utter corruption in our society that is run off the principles and playbook of narcissistic abuse. And when people can finally wake up and put two and two together, they will be able to once and for all see what is really happening in this world and see who it is that is doing this evil in our world. And that's something my faith and my relationship with Yahshua has taught me. There is nothing new under the sun. All of this mess that is happening now happened back then. And it was so bad God had to flood the earth. And then he had to utterly destroy a twin city. It was written these same evils would show back up on our earth to the same degree as they were before. And here we are. Here we are. Every day someone does the most horrible evil thing possible to their own family and it's all over the news. But right next to it is another story that's even worse. And it just goes on and on. I look around and I have no one from my family of origin that I can trust at all. Most of my previous friends were narcissists or other toxic people and I had to distance myself from. And most of you are in the same boat. It hurts. It hurts really bad. We look at our life choices and things we said and did. And we just shake our head and think to ourselves, how stupid. I can't believe I did that. We think back on all the times we were taken by this person or that person. But you know what? I always knew there was someone following me in my life. I always felt the presence of God. From the time I was a young child up until this very day. The difference is, I had a limited understanding of what was happening back then. I didn't understand then what I understand now and have for several years. Is that he loves me. He loves me. Did he make me go through what I went through because he knew I was strong enough to make it? And then speak about it? Well, if that's the case, who am I to argue? There were so many instances. Now looking back, that were perfectly timed. And I do mean perfectly timed. Where the Messiah broke me free from something terrible. In fact, all of the details on the day that Susie was led away in handcuffs. Never to abuse me again. The way that day played out was something I could have never planned. I know. That day, God was with me as he was each and every other day. On days where I'm depressed and feel like I can't get out of bed, I cry to Yahshua to make me as strong as David and help me rise from my bed and take on the day. And he hears me. Sometimes I will just laugh about something that was funny and thank him for a joyous time. Other times, I will just speak to him because he is my best friend. What's interesting is, a short while back, I met this young lady who I thought was nice. And I was invited to a family gathering of hers. And some of her family members started to grill me about religion. Automatically assuming I had no relationship with God. They asked if I went to church. I told them, no, I don't. I read the Bible. And I have a relationship with God directly. Along with having conversations with those randomly I meet in my life that want to talk about this topic and fellowship. Her brother laughed and said, that's not a relationship with God. Needless to say, that was the last time I dealt with this woman and her family. Now had it been the old me, I would have tried to work it out. But if I'm walking into a home and being judged like that, there's nothing I can do to change their minds. Nor do I want to change their minds. That's up to God. I know the many miracles God has worked in my life. There are some that have very quiet or small miracles. Because I think we all experience something in our lives. But because they aren't grand. Many people question God's love or His existence. And even though I've been blessed to experience some big ones along with some small ones, I know He's always there. Even when nothing is happening that day. I know Yahshua is with me. When I think about my childhood, I think, my God, there's no way I could survive that today. No way. And then I think, how did I survive that? Yahshua was with me. That's the only way. That is the only way. You think someone that went through what many of us went through would have ended up in a mental hospital somewhere. But we didn't. Now there are some that do, sadly. And some that end up in the life of drugs. But the facts are this. There are rules of engagement in this spiritual war. And giving into drugging, or other bad things, just opens up a portal to where demons can do all kinds of bad things to us. And because we opened up that doorway, they are allowed to mess with us. Now this doesn't mean Yahshua won't help us or rescue us if we call on Him. But His timing isn't our timing. This is also why information regarding narcissistic abuse is so important to get out to the masses. How many young children let demons into their life by doing drugs? Or by attempting suicide? And it's all because they think no one cares about them. Because that's the goal of the narcissist parent. To make the child feel isolated and alone. We all thought we were the only ones going through what we went through. And lots of dark thoughts as a result raced through our young minds. That being said, many of us never stopped crying out to God. You see, one's relationship with Yahshua is unique and special. And who am I? Or who is someone else to question that? However, the question should be, do you have a growing relationship with Yahshua? Yes, you do. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Because we are all special and different to Him. All with our own assignments. Remember who Yahshua was ministering to when He was on this earth. It was the poor, the forgotten, and the outcasts of society. Those the religious people wouldn't touch. Because they felt they were so much better than they were. But Yahshua let these religious leaders know they were like a tomb. That was all clean on the outside. But on the inside full of dead man's bones. None of us are perfect. None of us. I'm just a regular guy. I'm very imperfect. Very much so. I'm as flawed as they come. But Yahshua is my best friend. He is the Messiah. And I love Him. And I thank Him for saving my life. And the patience He shows with me each and every day. Most would have given up. But He never did. I just pray He allows me to keep speaking the truth to help others. Well, that's all I have for now. I hope everyone had a blessed day. And as always, bye for now. And be good to yourself.